Hello my friends, Darren, Australia's water sommelier, here to give you another tasting bit of information about one of the local waters I've got here in Australia. First of all, we need to have water. Water is important, we add value to water, and water has taste. So this is why I'm here to share a bit more about this. Water I have today looks like absolutely stunning water I've got here for you. Let me just show you the bottle nice and close. It is called A Rock and a Hard Place. So it's very Australian style name, it's got a beautiful cartoon there. Like it's got that fun stuff. It actually looks like it's a bottle of wine almost. It's got that feel of elegance. I've got this wine here. Walk up to a table. Would you like a bottle of water to go with that? Yes, I would. Let's pour a glass in here. It feels really nice. Actually, it feels like I'm opening a bottle of Riesling. And you pour it in the glass. So yeah, that's literally what the presentation of the bottle looks like. So you see the label here. What it is, it's called A Rock and a Hard Place. It's from the Adelaide Hills area in South Australia, of Australia, which is also known as a wine area in that area. A lot of wine in that area. They have a lot of mountains, a lot of regions. Anyway, it's got the place called Mount Lofty. So Mount Lofty has got an ancient aquifer deep inside Mount Lofty where they source this water. It goes into an aquifer, and we have this in the presentation there. So it's a special water, and let's give it a taste. A little bit about the water. As you can see, I've just told you a little bit about it, a little bit of history about on the label for Mount Lofty. There's a lot more details and stuff on the internet and on the website and on social medias. And it's just a beautiful presentation of the water here. So, and if further information, contact information and all that sort of stuff. But this is the still version. We've got a sparkling I'm going to taste in a minute, but the still version is what we've got first. Let's give it a taste. Okay. The minerality of this water is sitting at about 155. So in terms of level of minerality, the total dissolved solids or electrolytes or minerality, whatever you want to call them, it's on the low level, a low scale of water. So it's because you've got the super low is below the 50s, and then between 50 to 250 you have the low range. So it's in that low range. I'm using a glass because it adds value to the presentation. I enjoy it more. It's like drinking coffee out of a coffee cup compared to a paper cup. Exactly the same presentation and experience. All right, it's got that weight there in the front. It's nice and sweet. It's got that balance across the sides, and it doesn't leave anything at the end. It's just got a nice little on top of the tongue. There's a little bit of a body on that, and it's just deliciously crisp across the sides. This is all at room temperature, and my room's sitting at about 15 degrees Celsius right now. It's not cold. Yeah, it's delicious, it's sweet. It's definitely one you would pair with a nice fish or something like that. You could have it with a little bit of pasta with a olive oil sauce. That's sort of a Mediterranean style foods I think would go really well with this water. Or even it would be beautiful with something like on the dessert side of things, but more like a not a super sweet dessert, but more like some fruit type of dessert will be that'd be lovely, I think. Yeah, so it's about 155 total dissolved solids. It is from the Mount Lofty region. Mount Lofty is the ranges, and one of the Mount Lofty ranges are ranges within Adelaide Hills. So it's about 20k, maybe 30k off the top of my head from the Adelaide city to the Adelaide Hill area. If I'm wrong in my geography, leave me messages below and I'll get out there and try and learn a bit more about it. It just leaves a very clean mouthfeel. Obviously, if it's chilled, it's going to have a different mouthful experience, but at the room temperature, I drink it at this temperature. So I can say turn the volume up on all the little minerality points that I will get, because when it's chilled, it sort of dulls some of those volumes. So it's a delicious porter. A rock and a hard place. And the reason I just love it is the presentation, the way it makes you feel. It just feels something special that you take out to a party. Let's go and have a look at some sparkling water. This one, obviously, they've carbonated it themselves. It's the same water, but it's gone through the carbonation process. And let's give it a go. The difference is the labels, the white for still and the black for the carbonated sparkling version. I don't know what the carbonation is going to be like, but I love little messages written on there. It's like push through and keep going on. So it's just really little positive movement because it's pushing through. There's rock there and just go straight through. It's beautiful artwork on these. Absolutely beautiful artwork. Anyway, let's try and open this. Not a lot of carbonation, I think. It's actually really nice, soft, delicate. We don't want too much for this type of presentation, I think. So let's have a look. You can't see a lot of carbonation in that, which is really, it's like soft. The bubbles are really small, which is really nice. Oh, there's small bubbles. They're really small, but there's so many of them. It's like a little fireworks going off in the top of my mouth. It's really intense, the carbonation, but they're small and delicate type of intensity. And then they're gone. Boom. It's not like the big bubbles you get from, say, soda streams that just invade your flavors and your tongue and the experiences you're going to get. It's going to be soft, delicate. It's a it's a really refreshing water. You could even use that because the carbonation is quite high still. You could actually use that for mixing. Have a bit of a gin in there or something like that, and oh, that'd be nice. So gin and the sparkling water would be delicious. Or a bit of alcohol could definitely mix with this because the carbonation levels are quite high, but the size of the bubbles and the amount of bubbles are low. So it's a very interesting water. I personally prefer the still version, but the sparkling version I can see, especially on a hot day, beautiful sitting out in the yard by the pool, having a glass of the sparkling carbonated water. It's perfect. It's got that mouthfeel to it, and because of the carbonation, then I could actually pair that with a higher fatty food. If you're having something like a higher fatty food, like a lot more flavor type of food, as in more you can have some, say, Korean type of barbecue food, not super oily food, but you've got that really heavy food. A lot of the Chinese dishes could probably go with this because the carbonation can help get through that. But yeah, it's a delicious water. A rock and a hard place from Adelaide Hills in South Australia. I'll leave some information in below, but have a taste. See if you can find some. It's hard for me to find. So I'll put some links and information about have more of this. But I hope you get the chance, if you do get to the Adelaide Hills area, to look them up. And there's a few places that sell it in the region down there. And cheers, my friends. Remember, water has taste, and water is not just water. Cheers.